Okay, today is tomorrow, tomorrow is today. I had to cut the other video a little bit short. I had to go inside. But we're back out here today and we're ripping into this saw again. Everything's stripped down to where I want it to be. I just have to take the flywheel off and the coil and the pickup too. So what I like to do for the stators, the flywheels, I just hook onto it with a pair of vice grips. Be very careful not to break one of the ears off. Try to hook it on a flat spot, not a round part. Then what I like to do is I like to just lift it up a little bit. There you go. Get the impact. And just like that, coils off, or stators off. So, different story on this build now. He wants to drop on a 52mm bore cylinder with piston. So that's, I think that's 272 if I'm not mistaken. Husky. So I'm not even going to look at the numbers on this one. I'll just slap the other piston on there after I fix up some parts that I want to fix up on it. And we'll take the numbers off of that one. I just threw the 272 cylinder and piston on, zeroed it again, got my numbers. Now I'm just going to zero it again. I'm going to pull the cylinder bolts off, I'm going to put my ring in there, and I'm going to figure out where I want my numbers. We got our numbers. I did mark this already. I'll go ahead and start cutting, and I'll bring you guys in and show you what it looks like after, and I'll even probably give you the numbers on this one. I did a little bit of an and I deleted the start of this video. It wasn't very long, but I accidentally deleted it and I can't figure out how to get it back. And then Christmas holidays, I kind of forgot that I had to look for it, and anyway, it's gone. This is a very clean 630 jonsered that I'm working on for a good customer / friend of mine named Tim. I won't give him his last name or anything like that. It started off as a 630 super, but the top end was getting a little bit weak on it, and he said just go ahead, make it a big bore, or doll it up a little bit. So we put a 272 top end in on it, which is 52mm instead of I don't know what the original bore is on the 630s. I forget off the top of my head, but yeah, new cylinder, new piston, new rings. So keep on watching. Well, before I get too ahead of myself, I always put a black line, especially on these 272 top ends. This is a highway top end, I believe. Yeah, highway. And rings highway, yeah, it's all highway, yeah. I always put my piston at bottom dead center whenever I'm doing my transfers, and I will put my Sharpie line, the black Sharpie line, and then I'll just score it a little bit, because I'll show you. I'll bring you in here too. Sorry, I had to pause you for a second there, but I just roughly stuck something in there just to show you kind of what I mean. So if you're looking right down here, see how the piston and your transfer opening, see how there's kind of like a little bit of a line there? Well, I get a poker stick here. There we go. See how there's a bit of a line in here? Oh, sorry. Terrible. Well, that does not help you at all. You need to get rid of that. So what I do is I mark my piston. Mark my piston, put a line on it, and then I'll stick it into my intake hole, because you don't want to go too far with it, but you also want to get rid of that line, and I find it makes a wicked difference. But there you go. So there's not too many people that I know that do this. This was an old lad that showed me this a couple years ago. He used to race methanol saws all the time, alcohol saws. He used to port saws for customers all the time too, and he showed me this trick. Well, it's not necessarily a trick, I guess it's more of a reliability thing, and it's balancing your piston. So 272s, 2100s, or a lot of the saws that have windows, a lot of the times you open up those windows a little bit, or you clean it up, you try to make it look a little bit better. But whenever you do that, you want to make sure that you take off, you know, you can eyeball it, same amount of material on both sides, and then if you cut the insides out a little bit too, or whatever the case may be, just make sure, you know, something simple as this, you know, put a nail through the board, you know, mark your center, make sure you know that center, and then once you 100% know that it's center, you put a little dot there, put it on, you know, something pointy, and then make sure that it's balanced. And see, this one's pretty straight, you know, I can hit it with my finger and it'll go back to being level. So that's another one of the tricks that I like to do. I'm not saying you have to do this. This might be stupid in other people's eyes, but it's something I do, and yeah, takes a little bit longer to do it, but I believe that it makes the saw last just a little bit longer. That's it. Okay, we're done grinding. Now clean everything. Even if you put a rag on top of your case, your crank, having the cylinder off, still take the rag off, clean it, blow it out, throw some gasoline in there, brake clean. If you guys are living in the province that I'm living in now, we can't use the good brake clean. We have to have that non-chloroform stuff. So I actually switched to carbon choke cleaner instead of brake clean. Seems to work perfectly fine for me. I don't mind it. I like it. I'll get you in and I'll show you just roughly what I did with the cylinder. Okay, so cut these two sides out. You know, I said that in my previous video as why I'd like to do that. And then opened up the transfers, and I didn't really touch in there too much. I did widen it just a little bit. The numbers were actually pretty good for the transfers on this, so I didn't worry about the actual transfer timing. I'll give you the numbers for that after. I'll go ahead and put this on the saw, get everything buttoned up, and I'll tell you my numbers and why I chose these numbers for this saw. We'll get to it. First heat cycle. Gotta fix the clutch. Well, it was a bit of a busy week for me. The other guy needed that 630 back quicker than expected. So I didn't really get a good video of that saw in the wood cutting and all that stuff. So I do apologize about that, but I'm pretty sure it'll be back on the channel later on. I do have a little bit of video of it going through its first heat cycle, which is in this video, but saw ran great. Runs awesome. We cut up a couple different logs with it while I was tuning it and stuff, but forgot to turn the camera on. Oops. And There was some footage that I accidentally deleted at the beginning of the video, and this wasn't a very good video on my end, but I get better. I'm working on it and trying to make content a little bit better for everybody. Next on the list of saws to do is a MS391. It's kind of an oddball saw. Not a lot of people actually really dig into those saws. They're a farm saw. They're not a professional saw, but I think we can get some good power out of that thing and make it a good runner. That'll be in the next video. First, I gotta clean up this mess. It's a disaster in here. All right, till next time.